Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and we are gonna be discussing The Sims 4 hot topic, The Sims 4 Kit, the brand new type of pack for The Sims 4. I want to hold my hands up and say this isn't me being a kits apologist. I still do not fundamentally agree with kits. I think they are very overpriced for what is contained in them. If you missed it, I did do a video where I was comparing the price of stuff packs versus kits and how I think they should either be cheaper or they should have more assets in them. And also, obviously, Bust the Dust is broken, it screwed up people's games officially, and there's a whole host of other things wrong with these kits. However, today I did want to talk about what kits I could potentially be interested in the future if those issues with kits are fixed. Because I've seen one idea floating around Twitter that I cannot get out of my brain. It is becoming an obsession. I just keep adding to it and I'm like, I need to yell about this kit because I think this is a great idea. The one that I haven't been able to get out of my mind since I saw it over on Kiva's Twitter, I retweeted it. I was like, oh my word, I cannot stop thinking about this. I saw this tweet, fell asleep thinking about it, dreamt about it, then retweeted it the next day because I physically could not get rid of the thought. It was just going round and round in my head and I was like, okay, I need to get this out of my system somehow. And this is what inspired this whole video. So thank you, Kiva, for mentioning this on Twitter. I very much appreciate you. And Kiva said, I want plants kit with functioning plants that my sim has to water, move to sunlight, they will wilt if not taken care of, die if not cared for properly, they can give a boost of fresh air in the house, which we all know, the Sims team, they love a good emotional buff, and they could be an emotional buff. I know, emotional buffs, there's a bit too many of them at the minute, but it could like make your sim like feel inspired, it could make them feel energized. There's a ton of things that they could do. Usually I'm not one for being like, yeah, let's add more to the emotion system, but I just want this plant pack. It lives in my head rent free. Ivy can grow over time, gives gardening skill, can pot and re-pot plants. If you couldn't tell, my room's a little bit dark, so I don't know if you can see them, but I have like a prayer plant over here. I also have a huge Monstera plant. Like, there's its 2 new leaves. Look how big this is. I live in a jungle thanks to this Monstera. Like, this is how much of a plant mum I am. Sims team, please give us a plant kit. Look at you. This one has so many tears in it. I'm so proud of you. And it's also got another one poking through. I'm gonna cry. Apparently, this was a thing in older Sims games. As a kid, like playing The Sims 1, playing The Sims 2, even playing The Sims 3, I wasn't really into plants back then. I was in university mainly when I got really into The Sims 3. So like, I had a lot of shit on my plate. Like, plants were the last thing on my mind. I could barely keep myself alive in university. I wanted to drop out by the 3rd year. So I wasn't thinking about plants. We never even got a Christmas tree. But plants in The Sims 4, now I would be all over that. I do remember garden plants being that way. I don't remember indoor plants. I do remember if you didn't water your outdoor like bushes and flowers, they would die off. That has just unlocked a memory that I did not even know I had. And it could go off the back of gardening what we already have in the game. They could also implement this to the bushes and the landscaping that you have around your house if you want an extra challenge. This would be super challenging gameplay as well, but I would personally love it. I think it adds realism. I think it adds that realism that people wanted to see with vacuuming and laundry day. Not everyone would enjoy this. Like, if you're not interested in plants, then this probably isn't going to be a pack for you. Also, an actual greenhouse. I'm fairly sure The Sims Mobile, they just got access to a greenhouse, and it's one of the cutest objects I've ever seen. Yes, I know we can technically create greenhouses in The Sims 4 that are usable, that our Sims can have outdoor plants in, but also if you could have indoor plants in there and keep them alive, and maybe they got like thrips or like, I don't know, all the different insects that can attack your plants, and like there's flies already in the game. This could be so possible, and it could lend from what we already have in the game, but then also add that new stuff of them wilting or dying or underwatering them, overwatering them. There are build and buy mode one. And this one, I'm kind of even on the fence about myself. I thought I would include it to like get the idea out there and see how you lot respond to it, because I haven't really seen anyone else talk about it. And that's a different appliances kit. And I do kind of believe that this could have been in Tiny Living. However, I am that person who thinks, well, that pack is already out. And yes, we got a survey last year that was like, which packs would you like us to go back and focus on and update them? We haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen any of the packs being updated. And I do think this could have been in Tiny Living, but I don't think they're ever going to go back to Tiny Living and be like, ah, that's actually a great idea, let's add it in. And so what I was thinking for this different appliances kit is basically focusing on the kitchen once again, but creating items and objects that we haven't seen. Flat top stoves to go on top of counters. I am so shocked that we don't have like electric stoves that can sit on top of a countertop. It's bizarre to me that they aren't in the game. Also, more stuff for in the counters, such as ovens. Like, you can have a wall oven, which saves space. I would absolutely love that. Also, microwaves, like, you know, in the wall microwaves or in cupboard microwaves, they definitely save space. They can like stack on top of one another. Like, I see so many people who have like 2 ovens stacked on top. I do feel like The Sims 4 is very modern and usually does keep up with trends. So it shocks me that they haven't really kept up with the like trends of builds recently. Also maybe tied into this pack, but also not really, but I don't really want it as a kit that's standalone. But fireplaces, there's so many different types of fireplaces out there. I really want like fireplaces that look like modern and traditional and like out there ones. There's so many different styles of fireplaces, and I feel like we just do not get enough fireplaces. Also, like being able to toast marshmallows over fireplaces. We already have the animations of being able to toast marshmallows, so how cute would it be if our kiddos could like toast them over the fireplace? I would love that. I don't know if I would want it in this kit, but I do want it. This next one is a little bit of a risk. I do feel like it is personally a little bit too big. I feel like the team are going to be like, hold your horses, calm down. This is... But this is what I think the price point should be worth for that $4.99 that we currently have. And this is what I am calling my Cottage Core Kit. We couldn't get away with it. The Sims is T for teen, and we cannot get away with saying whore in the title. But I'm sure I could throw around a couple of other ideas, you know? If you wanna hit me up, I'll have my manager talk to your manager. I don't have a manager. And in Cottage Core Couture. There we go. New name, like that. We have bread making. It's lockdown. Every single person I know got into baking in some form during 2020. I woke up this morning and my mother was like, let's make scones. And it's Mother's Day today. So I was like, well, I can't deny you that. Preserves and jams. We don't have like preservation in The Sims 4. Like, imagine your Sims being able to create their own jams. Also, picnic baskets and blankets. I miss my Sims just being able to go out and have a cute little date together on a picnic blanket. Like, why are they not in the game yet? I wanted those to come in seasons, and they didn't. Also, kids could have a fruit juice or like a lemonade stand or like an orange juice stand where they make their own fresh homemade goods, and like they can set it up outside their house in the front garden and be like, hey, will you come buy some fruit juice for like 2 simoleons? It could be so cute. And mushroom collecting. I would die if we got mushroom collecting in The Sims 4. Or just like being able to go around, take photos of them, like identify different mushrooms. Not gonna lie, I would even take this as a Create a Sim pack. I haven't really talked about like Create a Sim kits that I would like to see. I think with them, like they have to go a bit more niche. I think like they need to go for trends. I feel like that's where kits could really shine if they like work on like trends that are popular and also like trends that we don't have in the game. Like if we had like an e-girl or e-boy Create a Sim kit, I would probably be all over that because I feel like it's something that we don't have in the game. However, a cottagecore one, I know we've had like cozy, hippie, comfy clothes recently, but I do feel like they could push the boat out on cottagecore. But that's just like my personal preference. Like I know personally I would get a lot of use out of that. I would like to see the gameplay option more than the Create a Sim option though. And finally, this is an idea that I've had in my head for years. I've talked about it in packs I want to see. I talked about it in my 2021 pack wish list. And I also know that Jessie has recently mentioned this as well, aka Plum Bitch. And I don't know if it's like the Northern Lasses in us. I don't know what it is. Jessie grew up at Flamingo Land. I grew up in Blackpool and Blackpool Pleasure Beach. You know, every time I make a video about Coral Island the game, my head is just like, yeah, but Molly, Coral Island in Blackpool. Think how much you miss the arcades right now. I never thought that I would be like, you know what, I miss the sweaty, smelly, everyone touching everything without washing their hands. Like kids have probably wiped their snot all over those grabbers. I genuinely miss an arcade. I miss arcades so much that my niece texted me the other day and was like, hey, download this app. So I downloaded it and it lets you play grabbers virtually. So like grabbers over in Japan, they have cameras in them and you can like move the grabber and like actually get your prizes sent to you. I didn't because I was scared that it was a scam. But then I just sat there for hours watching people on the grabbers and I was like, this is how much I miss arcades. Having said all that, I would love an arcade kit. I think it would fit in really well with bowling because I don't know if this is a UK thing, but like every single bowling alley in the UK has an arcade attached to it. It's like a parent's nightmare. I know The Sims 4 is an American simulator, but I want a little bit of my UK representation in there, and I feel like I can't have a legit bowling alley unless I have an arcade. I know Jessie did talk about the big oversized like arcade machine that we had in Get Together. I actually downloaded some custom content because I wanted to turn the bar in Snowy Escape into like an arcade bar, and so I downloaded some smaller arcade machines. However, why don't we have them officially in the game? Like the one that we have is so oversized. It's great if you want to play together, but like why do we not just have single tile ones or like pinball machines? Also, grabbers, claw machines for you Americans watching. I miss grabbers and I would quite like the thrill of winning a cuddly toy in a grabber machine virtually with my Sims doing it. Air hockey, pool tables. We don't have pool tables in The Sims 4. This is something that frustrates me every time I think about it. How do we not have pool tables? Also, fruit machines where you're like maybe like young adults and above are the only ones who are allowed to use them and they win money back. Is it gambling? Yes. However, it's not with real money, so therefore I feel like it's not as bad. Also, we have sabacc now in the game anyway, which is pretty much poker and it's fine. Kids don't gamble, even in loot boxes. And the smaller arcade machines, obviously. Also, being able to collect tickets. Festivals were one of my favorite parts about The Sims 3 seasons. I absolutely love them. Being able to like play those carnival games or do activities and collecting tickets to go and redeem them at the festival stall. Arcades always do that. Like, you get tokens and then you can take them for prizes. If teens can go on dates, they can, like, get their lover a little, like, teddy bear or something with the redemption. I think an arcade kit. I feel like kits are perfect for an arcade, but I don't know. I don't know if that's too big. I don't know if that like is classed as a stuff pack now, but I feel like a stuff pack is personally bigger than that. I don't know how it would work. I definitely need to see like how they start to define kits, and I feel like that's gonna take some time, because right now I'm still stuck in this gray area of like, wait, how much do we expect from kits? How much do we expect from stuff packs? But I do want to leave this open to you. Let me know how you feel about the ideas that I've suggested, and also let me know if there's any other kit ideas that you would like to see in the future. I've seen a load flying about Twitter. I do feel like even though a lot of the community don't agree with these kits, I do quite like how it's like opening people's ideas and like encouraging them to talk about what they want to see in these kits. So absolutely feel free to like word vomit your ideas down in the comments. I absolutely love it when we get a good discussion going down there. I want to hear all of your ideas because I'm sure you have a ton of incredible ones that I would also love to see. And thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for clicking on a video that probably has kits in the title, because I know they're not everyone's favorite topics, and I know that there is a lot of work to be done on these bad boys. Hopefully it can be done. Hopefully we get a plant kit in the next release. I want it so bad. If there's anything I want this year, it's that. And I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.